The 71-year-old man killed in Petone on Friday night was decapitated, police have confirmed. Police announced a homicide investigation after the man was found dead at the Jackson St property shortly before 10 p.m. on Friday. The local community has expressed shock at the chilling death. A neighbor told the Herald the victim had dealt synthetic drugs. Hutt City Councilor and Petone resident Huey Lewis confirmed the dead man was Frank Tyson. Lewis said neighbors it had been brought to her attention that Tyson was selling synthetic cannabis out of the Housing New Zealand property. The sad thing is, if it wasn't Frank, somebody else is going to be doing it. He'd been part of the community for more than 20 years. While I've been on council, Frank was never afraid to say this is what we need, this is what we can do, and Frank wasn't afraid to speak up. He always had a strong point of view, Lewis told Stuff. She did not think Tyson was a substance abuser, and said he definitely wasn't involved in gangs. It is understood Tyson died following a party in an apartment in the Jackson Street flats on Friday night. On Saturday, as a result of the police investigation, a 41-year-old man was arrested and appeared in the Lower Hutt District Court on willful damage and drug possession charges. He was remanded in custody. A post-mortem is being undertaken today on the body of the victim, and police expect to be able to formally identify him tomorrow. A neighbor has told the Herald he knew him as Frank or Frankie. The neighbor said he knew Frank well, and that people in the area used him as a ghetto taxi driver. Frank would regularly drive friends and neighbors to work or the supermarket for a small fee. He said Frank was not an easy person to get along with, but did a lot of good for those around him. There's a lot to this effing story. The guy didn't have to go out the way he did, he said. The guy wasn't an easy guy to get along with. His jokes were effing stale. Everyone still laughed or else he wouldn't drive you. The neighbor said he'd been crying for the last few days, and that this type of killing was unnecessary.